I can look anywhere I want, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I cannot believe the amount of control one-party rule wants. They now want to dictate to a member of the floor of where I can look? Are you afraid of the basis of the information in the bill? Sir, I'm gladly to look at you, Mr. Speaker. There's a difference between addressing and looking. I know one-party rule wants to control every element of our lives.
Okay, so that's what it looks like when a man with power he doesn't deserve and shouldn't have, doesn't get that he's a joke, doesn't get that he has nothing, and believes that he's really doing a good job. And that was at some point during a 8.5 hour speech designed to stop for as long as possible you getting, I don't know, like a hearing benefit or elder care or paid leave. That's all it was. And there was a lot of nonsense, and we'll get to some more of it, Brett, but I think that sums it up pretty well. That little whiny tantrum.
This is what I want. This is the filibuster America deserves. This used to be how it was. In order for you to stop legislation that, by his own admission, by saying single party rule, America wants. By the way, that's an attack on the American people. What Kevin McCarthy just did was an attack on your voice. Because you voted for this. And when we ask you what you want in your bills, you want this. And Kevin McCarthy is going against you, and he's standing up there for 8 hours complaining that you want what you want. Okay. And then the other thing is, you used to have to talk for 24 hours straight, 150 hours of talking throughout the whole Senate in order to delay a vote so much that like literally the close sign comes up. And now they have this thing called cloture, where it's like you need 60 people to just be like, would we, if we had to speak, would you stop us from speaking or not? But they never have to do the work. I love that Kevin McCarthy had to go there for 8 hours and shout every so often so he himself wouldn't fall asleep.
Yeah, because he was as bored as everyone else.
Good God,
a little bit impressive.
Such a weenie. He's such a weenie. I love it.
No, totally, and we'll get to the purpose of this, but we have a lot of great videos we gotta get to. So there was a fun moment. You have to strain to hear it, but listen in the background of this clip.
Just a few weeks ago, Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger said, nobody elected Joe Biden to be FDR.
Right after he said that, AOC yelled out very low, she's far away, I did. And I mean, look, it's complicated. I didn't, in that I never thought he would be that, but I think a lot of people desperately hope that he will do that. That even something as now neutered as Build Back Better. Let's pause very briefly. Imagine if Build Back Better did pass. It is way, way smaller than it was in ways that are really, really bad. But it's also, maybe Brett, maybe you can fill me like something I'm forgetting. I feel like in the last 21 years, if you look at what the government has done, that's good. I mean, that actually helps working Americans. There was the ACA, and then maybe this. I mean, I guess there was like the rescue plan, kind of. That was during a pandemic. I feel like that's it, and they hate it. They hate the couple of things in our lifetime the government has done. That's a significant outflow of money that doesn't go to defense contractors. Instead, it goes to you and I. And Drew and George, I'm not saying the ACA was amazing, but I'm saying it was at least the government spending money on us for once. And they hate it. They absolutely hate it.
I definitely know for a fact that if you've been paying this much attention to politics, you know that the tagline for Joe Biden is he wants to be the next FDR. That's it. That was what he said. I'm looking at an op-ed from before this all went down, from the New York Times, from Jennifer Medina saying, Biden wanted an FDR presidency. How's he doing so far? And Joe Manchin knows it. Nancy Pelosi knows it. The people know it because and whether it's explicitly FDR or not, they wanted it. And compare this to the New Deal. It is teensy tiny. It is not a bunch, and it's compared to the Great Society. It is none of that. That's the other one that happened along the way.
100%, yeah.
But like,
now look,
nothing.
sure. I mean, look, it wouldn't have been the New Deal if it hadn't been cut by more than half, and it's still going to be cut more now. But he said, I have to stand against. McCarthy said, I have to stand against it because it's the biggest, most reckless spending bill ever. And look, I will promise you this: for the rest of your life, assuming he stays in politics, he will say that about literally any bill that spends money on working Americans. That's just he's a robot. That's all it is. It's a message that he's delivering. The goal of the overall message is, please make me speaker if we take back control. Look at me, I can waste our time. That's the only thing we're supposed to do. And I thought about playing more of his speech. I decided we're gonna sum it up as quickly as possible. Here is the rest of the 8 hours and 32 minutes of his speech.
Blah, blah, blah.
Thank you. Anyway, that's all it was. Oh, like he was insane. He's talking about Abraham Lincoln. He's talking about supposed free, like he's very impressed with himself and not impressive at the same time. It is just trying out to get Trump to like him, to get them to support him as speaker. And understand, by the way, that the dark undercurrent of all of this is that they're probably going to take control through the Democrats, fooling around with the power that they have and not using it, combined with gerrymandering. They almost certainly will take control. So there's a very real chance he will be the speaker in just a couple of years.
And speak he did.
That's true. I guess that is the job.
That's so bad. Let's just talk about he's this big wuss bag. He's so bad, man. Oh, Mr. Speaker, you can't tell me where to look. Thank you. And all you're thinking, like he knows he needs to speak for as long as possible. So that he can have his Mr. Smith goes to Washington moment. But like, it's amazing. Like, he can't pull it off. And he's so grateful when the speaker says, don't address that person, address the chair. It's the rule, it's the law, it's the rule of law. You guys absolutely love that stuff. And he's just, while he's angry, he's so happy that someone gave him like 2 more minutes of BS to say.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.